Time for another board game review, and this time we have the game Inside Job. This was sent to me by Thames Kosmos, and it's designed by Tanner Simmons. You are a group of secret agents who must work together to complete your missions, but beware, the insider is hiding amongst you, sabotaging your missions and collecting secret information along the way. In this mostly cooperative trick-taking card game, you slip into undercover roles. Who is acting suspiciously? Who can you trust? Will you complete all of your missions with careful card play as an agent, or will you successfully sabotage the team as the insider? Let me show you how to play. So at the beginning of the game, you each get a hidden role card. There are other special roles you can add, but for the most part, you got the agent, complete missions, or correctly identify the insider in the vote. All agents immediately win when enough missions are completed successfully. One of you is the insider. You want to remain undetected as you sabotage missions while collecting intel tokens. Special characteristics of the insider: you don't have to follow suit, and you immediately win when you've collected enough intel tokens. Each of you starts with, you divide the deck up evenly for the most part. Each of you gets an intel token, and then these are mission cards. So, like I mentioned, the agents are trying to win by completing a certain number of missions. In a 5-player game, it is 6 missions. These cards will tell you, depending on your player count, the sort of stats for the game. The insider, however, is trying to win a certain number of these intel tokens. In a 5-player game, that is 4 tokens. Now, you play tricks. For those who don't know what a trick-taking game is, you play a card of a suit, everyone follows suit, and the highest card wins. We'll get into that a little later. Again, it's trick-taking. It's classic stuff. But after you play through all the tricks of the round, if after the last trick neither side has won, then the players will vote on who they believe is the insider. And in that case, the agents win if they successfully unmask the insider by giving that player the greatest number of votes. So, like I said, this is a trick-taking game. You can see here, you have numbered cards with different colors, or as we call them, suits. The whole concept of a trick-taking game is if I play, let's say, a blue 8 as the starting player, everyone else has to follow suit if they have that color. So if I have a blue card, I play a blue card. The only person, however, who can break that rule is the insider. Now, let's say everybody played, let's see, these cards. In this case, the highest card wins the trick. If you don't have a suit or a card of that suit, then you can play a different card. There are trump cards. Trump cards are the sort of suit that are higher than any other cards. We'll get into that later. The missions tell you what the trump suit is. But a trump card beats a higher regular card. So if I played a blue 8, let's say the trump was yellow, and somebody played a yellow 3, then they would actually win the trick. Well, let's get into how the sort of gameplay actually works. So, before each trick, the starting player will choose one of 2 missions. They will look at the top 2, and here are 2 examples here. This one says, the second card played must have the lowest number of all cards played, and trump will be yellow. Or, this one says, the first card played must win the trick, and trump is blue. So the starting player will pick one, and they will place it face up so everybody can see it. The other one goes face down into the box unseen. Then that player can then start playing a card, and everyone has to follow suit if they have it. Otherwise, they can play whatever they want. So in this case, the second card, if you were on the good guys team, you would want to play your lowest card possible, because if you're the second player and no one else plays a higher card than that, then you will have successfully fulfilled the mission. Now, after each trick, the winner of the trick takes an intel token. So these are how you sort of get more of these briefcases. And whoever won the trick plays the next starting card for the next trick. Now remember, the winner of the trick always receives one of these, even if you didn't complete the mission. Then you check to see if the mission was completed. If it was, you put it to the right to show that it was completed. If not, you put it out of the game into the box. Then you check to see if the game is over. Obviously, it wouldn't be over this quickly, but if enough missions have been collected. So again, in a 5-player game, they are trying to get 6 missions done. Then the agents win. Or if the insider has collected enough intel tokens, they reveal their role. If both sides meet the winning conditions in the same round, the insider wins. An important note is that players do not play all of the cards in their hand. So if you keep going playing these tricks, but you always at the end, there will be in a 5-player game, you'll have one card remaining in your hand that you will not reveal. So if you get all the way to the end and neither side has won, then you do what's called the voting, where you all openly speculate about who the insider could be, and then you will do a simultaneous 1, 2, 3 point. You cannot vote for yourself. You also can't vote for a player whose role has already been revealed. We'll explain that later, that some roles will be revealed throughout the game. Whoever has the most fingers pointed at them reveals their role. If it was the insider, the agents win. If it wasn't the insider wins. If there is a tie for the most votes, the insider wins. What's interesting about this game is that the insider, like I mentioned, does not have to follow suit. That, however, you have to be careful, because if you don't follow suit early on, but then accidentally reveal later that you had a suit of that color, then you're clearly in the insider. So you just have to play it safe with that special characteristic. Now, if you have at least one intel token, you may wager intel. To do that, you place an intel token on your card after playing the trick according to the rules. For the purposes of the active mission and for determining the winner of a trick, a card with an intel token on it is considered the trump suit. So if I played this pink 4, let's say trump was yellow, I put one of my intel tokens on it. This is a trump 4. The only players who cannot wager intel are the starting player and any players whose roles have already been revealed. Now, the winner of the trick will take one token from the supply and also all the intel tokens that were wagered in that trick. These can be useful because you can use these to win tricks if necessary, but can also be risky because if the winner of the trick is the insider, they're going to get several of these in one go if they win the trick. With these intel, it is also possible that multiple cards have the highest number of the trump suit. In that case, whichever card is played later in the trick wins. Now, if any player collects the number of intel tokens required by the insider to win the game, in this case 4, they will then reveal their role card. And if they're the insider, they instantly win. If they're an agent, though, then you get that information of, that person is not the insider. However, because their role has been revealed, they cannot wager intel tokens for the rest of the game. Now, some communication rules. You cannot discuss whether or not you have certain cards in your hand. You can talk openly about cards that have already been played, but you may not look at them. You cannot discuss what was on the mission card you looked at. And you can also discuss who you think the insider is at any time. And that's pretty much the game, is you're just trying to complete these missions and figure out who the insider is. There are special role cards as well if you want to change it up. But otherwise, and also I think there are risky missions as well. So they're, they like sort of more difficult ones. And yeah, that's pretty much the game. Just try to complete these missions and figure out who the baddie is. So this game is basically like The Crew, which I reviewed back in episode 100, and which just has a hidden role element. It's pretty good. I actually really like the cooperative nature of getting to choose between, 2 missions each trick, which one is more likely. That side of the game actually feels very breezy and fun. It also does turn into this interesting like balancing act, because you kind of want to stop people from getting, the right number of intel in case you're the insider. So that's pretty cool too. Having some cards left in your hand after the game is also a smart way to allow the insider some flexibility in what they play. Honestly, I think the design here in this game is pretty smart. Is it an amazing hidden role game though? It's okay. I think ultimately, because it's a trick-taking game, oftentimes the insider can kind of just get away with it because they don't actually have to be that intrusive or sneaky. Sometimes it just works out in their favor, and it can feel like a crapshoot when you're trying to decide who it is if you're stuck at the end. So ultimately, for me, I think this game is more successful as a trick-taking game. I like the missions, it feels like a lighter, crew. That's more successful than the hidden role game aspect. I appreciate the interesting attempt of blending the two, and I do think it's decently fun, but I just don't know if this has the real juiciness that the best hidden role games offer. As a trick-taking game, I think it's pretty good. As a hidden role game,